Hi, so today I'm going to show you how to run Jupyter on an AWS EC2 instance so you can have all of your notebooks on the cloud and you can train, test, and serve your data science projects and your machine learning models all from an EC2 instance. So this allows you to choose something similar like SageMaker performance if you want like a T3 medium instance or some really high performance GPU cluster. Um, you can train your models on any machine that fits your needs, and you can use auto scaling groups to um, change and adapt to those needs. So this is really powerful to have your models on the cloud, and it's pretty fascinating. So here is just an example notebook I've set up with just some like random test data. So as you can see, it works, and I'm going to show you how to get this installed. It's pretty quick to install. So the first thing you're going to want to do is to launch a new AWS EC2 instance. So I'm just going to select the free tier, the Linux 2 AMI at the top. And here, when you select an instance type, this is a wide variety of different instance types, all with different performance and just different features that they have. So here is where theoretically you could pick one depending on your needs. So I'm just going to pick the free tier eligible one, and I'm going to configure it. So in this configuration, um, what's important about this, all of these should be okay other than these VPC settings. This is where you really need to make sure that they're correct, or you're not going to be able to contact your EC2 instance from outside. So I'm going to set this subnet to my YouTube subnet that I've pre-set up, and you want to make sure auto assign public IP is enabled. I'm gonna show you my VPC settings now. So this is my main VPC that I'm going to be using. It has my YouTube subnet in it, and this YouTube subnet, um, the crucial thing about this is you want to have 0.0.0.0 as a route in your route table that's attached to the subnet. This route targets your internet gateway, which is attached to your VPC. So if you don't have this internet gateway route, you're not going to be able to contact or like make traffic come in AWS or make traffic come out. So other than that, um, you should be okay. And this auto assign public IP using subnet setting, to change that, you want to make sure it's enabled. And how I did it to match the subnet, just click on the subnet that you're going to use and click modify auto assign IP settings. And here you want to make sure this is checked. So um, that should be good for the configuration. And next, I'm going to add storage. I'm going to leave this how it is. You can add more if you would like. I'm going to go to add tags. I'm not going to add any tags here, but you can also do this as well. And here I'm going to configure a security group. So I'm going to configure, I'm going to leave this SSH rule, but I'm going to set all of my rules from anywhere just to make this really easy for me. So I'm going to leave this SSH rule with anywhere. I'm going to make a new HTTP rule from anywhere. I'm going to make a new HTTPS rule from anywhere. And this last rule is going to be a custom TCP rule. So Jupyter automatically serves from port 8888, but just to avoid any conflicts, I'm going to set it to 4200. And I'm going to set this from anywhere, and it should be good now. This should be good for our settings. So I'm going to launch this instance and get back once I'm logged into the EC2 box. So now that I've logged into the EC2 box, the first thing we're going to want to do is to set up Python. So I'm going to type in Amazon Linux Extras. This is going to pull up the Amazon Linux Extras, like the list of everything that's in this repository of programs you can download. So as you can see in here, we have Python 3.8, but you also have different programs such as Ruby, PHP, but I'm just going to download Python 3.8 because that's all we need out of here. So I'm going to do sudo Amazon Linux Extras enable Python 3.8 is exactly as it's written there. So that just turned this blue. That means it's enabled. And we should be able to run these two commands as sudo, and it's going to install Python for us. So now the next command is sudo yum install Python 3.8. So this is going to install Python. I'm going to hit Y when it prompts me to. After Python is installed, we need to install pip. So just to make sure Python installed correctly, you can type in Python, just type some test data. We can see it works. So next thing is to install pip. So do sudo yum install pip3-python. I'm sorry, do python 3-pip. If you don't type this in correctly, um, it's going to download an old version of pip, and it's really going to mess up your setup. So make sure this is typed exactly how I have it here, and just hit enter, and just hit Y if it prompts you, and this should download pip. So all we need once we have pip installed is to install Jupyter. So to do this, type sudo pip3 install Jupyter. Alright, so we have Jupyter installed. So now we can run Jupyter by typing Jupyter notebook, and then we're going to do dash dash notebook app.ip equals 0.0.0.0. This is a crucial part of this process. This makes sure that the Jupyter server is available to be connected to from the internet. So from like our machine here to AWS. So next thing is I'm going to type dash dash notebook app.port equals 4200, and this is the port, the custom port that I enabled in the security group. If you don't type this in, it's automatically going to run 8.8.8.8. So after we hit enter here, it should be running our Jupyter notebook on this public IPv4 address in the EC2 instance, and we should be able to connect to it. So as you can see, it started running. This token, we're going to need it in a second, but for right now, I'm going to go to the EC2 instance on that port that I enabled. So I'm just going to copy this, open up a new tab, and go to that port. So as you can see, it's asking us for the token now, and we can see the token is in here. So I'm just going to hit Control C and copy this, and just paste it in here, and it should be working now. Alright, so we have Jupyter working, and here you can make a new Jupyter notebook, and this is all on the cloud. So this is pretty fascinating. You can just type in some test data here just to make sure it works. And as you can see, you should have a fully running Jupyter server on AWS to be able to train your models and do all of your data science projects just directly on the cloud. That should be it. Thanks for watching.